Hey everyone, happy Thursday. It's 6 o'clock in Denver, and I just want to give a shout out to my students that usually join me Thursday nights at 6 at Core Power Yoga Stapleton. I'm missing you and just sending out some virtual love, light, and kindness to you. So I'm going to give everybody a couple minutes to join in for our live class on Instagram, and then a reminder that these classes are always posted to my YouTube page after for you to enjoy. And if you would like to make a donation to help support me as a yoga teacher, awesome. If you are in a place where you're needing to just receive, then this is my gift to you. So namaste. Hey Susan, I was just giving a shout out to the Thursday night Core Power crew. It's good to have you. So no props needed for the class tonight, and we've been moving through our Elemental Nature series this week. So this is intended to build. If you have missed some of them, that's okay. You can always do this sequence. It's a 5-day sequence on the YouTube page. Otherwise, we'll get started and move into our air energy flow for tonight. So on your mat, and we'll begin in child's pose. I always forget to mention this because I'm just not in the practice of reminding you to find music if you want. I do have playlists that are pre-made on my Spotify, Alicia Ray Yoga. And so there is one that's attuned for this practice tonight. It's called Elemental Nature Air. And I have one for Earth, Fire, Water, Air, and Infinity for tomorrow morning's class. So let's get started on our mat. Child's pose. We'll do a variation of child's tonight. So toes touch, knees as wide as you can to the edges of your mat. So getting a little bit more hip opening. Go ahead and melt your heart down towards the earth. Forehead touches, and then bend your elbows and bring your hands to touch the back of your neck. And focus on bringing this rotation of breath through the front line of your body and then through the back of your neck. Close your eyes, and just as a reminder, I'm always cueing you, so listening to my voice rather than seeing what I'm doing unless I cue you to look at me for a demo. And then sometimes my rights are your lefts and your lefts are my rights, vice versa. So just, again, be in your body with your breath, find your flow. As you're getting settled into your child's pose and you bend your elbows with palms touching the back of your neck, you're thinking about a rotation of flowing breath in a circular pattern. So in through the back of your throat to your heart, to the back of your heart, up through the back of your neck, back of your head, and then back through to your mouth. And what we're doing here is creating a synergistic flow of yin and yang energy, or in traditional Chinese medicine, it's known as the Du channel and the Ren channel. So we're balancing opposite energy, sun and moon, night and day, light and dark. The intention for our practice tonight is to create space in the air energy. So just opening ourselves up. And we'll build a lot on lifting through the heart, the chest, and the throat. So lots of deep breathing, lots of chest expansion and opening here. And if you've taken my classes before, you know that I always like to connect the relationship of our hips. We want to be able to create space by opening up the hips to open up the heart and the throat. Couple more breaths in your child's pose, setting a particular intention for your practice. Let your exhale go. Open mouth exhale here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more like that. As you bring your palms to touch the mat, you're inhaling, big open mouth exhale. And then start to breathe on your own, however you'd like. Keep your forearms down on your mat. Lift your hips off your heels. Walk your knees in hip-width distance. You can tuck your toes or untuck your toes. I'm just going to scoot back a little bit. And you can bring your palms to touch or just keep the forearms parallel. We'll find a little bit of movement here. So variation of cat-cow, lower the belly button down. You're bringing the back of your glutes towards the back of your head as you push into your mat with your forearms and your fingertips. So it's a very small movement, it's less movement but more sensation. And then pull your chin towards your throat, draw your forehead to face your thighs, and then push again into the mat through your upper body. We're really focusing on creating space. We want to open up, breathe in the air. And then exhale, float through this a couple times on your own. Maybe you're becoming a little bit more aware of your upper body with this variation. And then bring your arms as wide as your mat. Slide your hands towards you a little bit more, kind of like you're about to do a push-up. Spider tip fingers into the mat, so we want some suction cup energy here. And then draw your elbows over your wrists. And from here, just want you to feel what it's like to dip your chest down. Doesn't have to touch the mat. And then pushing away from the earth and rounding in a little bit of a tuck. And then melt the chest down. So it's kind of like you're moving into cow pose. And then exhale, rounding into cat. And we'll just do that one more time. Melt the chest. And then exhale, rounding into cat. And let's add on to that. So this time, lift your left knee, heel towards your glute, bottom of your foot like it's going to press against the ceiling. And then we try this again as you dip your chest and you bend your elbows out to the sides of your mat. Pull your heel towards the back of your head. Lift your knee. And then draw your knee to your nose, tuck and curl. Let's try that again. Lift your foot, lift your heel, bend the elbows, dip your chest, heel to the back of your head. If it's too much with your fingertips, you can always bring a flat palm to the mat or to the floor. One more time, lift, melt, and knee to nose. Shh. All right, we'll change sides. So just check in with your wrists, your palms. This just allows us to pronounce a little bit more in the upper body. But if it's not feeling good for you, that's okay. So we lift the right knee, heel towards your glute, start to melt your chest down, elbows out. Should feel like a push-up. And then knee to nose, tuck and curl. Shh. So think of that cyclical energy of airflow from the back line of your body to the front, from the front to your back. So just continuous breathing, continuous circular energy. One more time. And back to center. Bring your palms in. Let's get right into downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Relax your head and neck. Take a few moments to filter into the new space that you've created. This is like a feng shui yoga practice where we're clearing space. So it should feel every time you're stepping into a pose like there's fresh air for you to breathe in, to welcome in. We're getting rid of clutter, we're getting rid of any blockages, any negative energy, free-flowing, fresh air space for your body, mind, and being. A couple more moments in your down dog, settling into stillness. And then start to walk your toes towards your hands. Take a nice ragdoll here, forward fold. Relax head and neck, hands to the back of your head. Sway side to side. Relax, fingertips to the floor. Slow rise, coming up to standing mountain pose. Inhale, stretch, reach fingertips over your shoulders. And let a big exhale go, clear some space. Relax your arms beside your body. Let's do a couple shoulder rolls, forward, backwards a few times. Want to get the neck and shoulders a little bit more free before we continue to build our flow. So we'll do some arm circles, but in opposite directions. So extend your, this is my right arm, it's probably gonna look like my left. And then opposite arm behind you. We want them to move in different directions. So if this arm's gonna move up, then this arm's gonna move forward and backwards. There we go. It's hard to cue it and do it at the same time. So we want the arms moving in opposite directions, nice and slow, controlled. Check in with your breath. Coming back to that circular movement. All right, and then bring the arms forward again, hug the shoulders onto your back, and then opposite directions, changing the flow. So I've been practicing this for a couple weeks now, and it was super challenging for my brain and my body to connect and synergize, and now I feel like I'm starting to find that balance. All right, bring the arms in front of you, shoulders hug onto your back, take a deep breath in, lower the arms as you exhale. We'll find what I've been calling the exorcist pose. So tuck your chin to your chest, step your feet hip width apart, strong in the core, and then roll your head to shoulder, back of your neck, Opposite shoulder, chin to chest. And then start off slow, close the eyes. And you'll probably notice some little snap, crackle, pops, all right? So that's all good. That's what we want. We want to decongest. We want to clear blockages. But if it feels painful, slow it down or stop and just do chin to chest, chin to shoulder. Let's change the direction. And as you become more fluid with this, you're going to start to see some big changes in how you hold energy around your neck and your shoulders. Maybe go a little bit faster. 3, 2, 1. Close eyes, hands to heart. If you're dizzy, that's normal. Woo! I'm definitely feeling this, the world spinning around. Big breath in. Big audible exhale. Ha. Eyes open, lower your palms. Let's flow, yogis. Inhale to a standing back bend. Reach the biceps in line with the ears. Palms touch. As soon as palms touch, you exhale, swan dive. Lead with the heart, forward fold. Interlace hands behind you. Chest expansion. And then draw your knuckles away from your tailbone. Take a breath in, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, release hands to the mat, step back, find your high plank. High plank pose, take a breath in. Lower all the way down to your belly, so knees, chest, hips. Let's find cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Little to no weight in the palms, pull your heart away from the earth. Big inhale. Exhale, release, push back, child's pose. Breath in as your forehead touches the earth. Breath out. Moving into upward facing dog. So slither across your mat. Start with your legs. Push the tops of the feet down. Kneecaps lift, thighs lift. Open up. Pull the heart through. Breath in. Roll into the big toe mounds. Exhale, lift up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a moment. Deep breath in. Big exhale, ha. Walker step forward, top of the mat, building our sun A flow, halfway lift. Exhale, relax head and neck, bow. We're rising into a standing back bend on our inhale, go right into the back bend, palms touch. Exhale, swan dive, bow forward, interlace hands, chest expansion on the way down. We'll take a moment here, you can lift halfway or just stay folded, draw the knuckles back. Exhale, release, touch the earth. Halfway lift, breath in. Step back, high plank, lower down to the earth. You can take locust or cobra pose. So start to breathe into the back line of the body, cyclical energy with the breath. Exhale, you release, child's pose. Connect to the back of your head here, do channel, breathing through to the Ren channel. That continuous flow of air. Upward facing dog, slide forward across the mat. Lift from upper body first, or from lower body to upper body, and then hips up and back, downward dog. We have one more flow. Take a deep breath in. Walk step forward, top of space. Let's enjoy it with breath. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, hinge at hips, bow deep. Inhale, standing back bend. Exhale, swan dive, lead with heart. Interlace hands, chest expansion. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, touch the earth. One more halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, step back, high plank. One more time, cobra, lower all the way down, or a locust pose. Breathe in, strengthening the low back. Exhale, touch back, child's pose. Breath in. Breath out. Push into your hands here. Feel your hips on your heels. Upward facing dog. So strong in the lower body to help lift the upper body. Downward facing dog. Take a moment here. Check in with your neck, your shoulders. Maybe a little shake of the head. Yes and no. Breath in. Breath out. Good. Let's position into our downward facing dog. We'll take a moment and find scorpion dog. So lift your right leg and bring your heel towards your glute. So we're not opening up the hip is closed. Just like you felt in the beginning of our practice. Palms to the side of the mat. Let's do flat palms here in our down dog, so a little more weight bearing. Bringing the heel towards the back of the head, dip your chest, bend the elbows like a push-up. Woo! Scorpion dog, knee to nose, come through, low lunge. Adjust into crescent moon, so bring back knee down, and a little different, hands at your low back. Elbows bend back, so you want to squeeze elbows in towards one another, shoulders drop back. Navel to spine, so you're engaging your core. And then you can use your thumbs to massage the low back a little bit. Feels pretty good. Really want to get a nice hip stretch here. We're opening up the hips just a little to help us with this airflow of lifting and feeling light as we open up front line. A few more breaths here. If it feels okay to try on a chest expansion, go for it. We'll build from here with our chest expansion. So you always have the option of keeping your hands on your hips. All right, so tuck your back toes. We'll come into a low lunge with your chest expansion. So just lift your back leg, send your knuckles towards your back heel. From here, we'll move into a toppling tree. So first step the feet together to touch. That's the transition. Then you lift into your toppling tree. We're reversing into it almost. Down, woo. Keep your bind. And then we're gonna reverse into a warrior three. So release your toppling tree, rise up, warrior three. Big movement, feel light and airy as you lift. Exhale, standing splits, relax your head and your neck. Step back, low lunge. Heel down, open up, warrior two. Ooh, take a moment to settle into Virabhadrasana 2. And bring your chin over your chest, right over your heart for a moment. Hands then come to heart. So just want you to feel how we're aligning midline. Close your eyes and focus on lifting your heart by taking in a lot of breath here. Feel how your breath is lifting your thumbs to your sternum. Feel that buoyancy of breath, like you're barrel chested, and then extend your arms out to warrior two. Breathe in. Exhale, extended side angle. Enjoy flowing the breath here in that circular pattern. Feeling the inhale to the back of your throat, back of your neck, back of your head, back to the front. Let your exhale go. Reverse warrior up and back. Nice and easy, maybe tilt ear to back shoulder to get a little more neck release. It might even feel good to bend the elbow, bring your hand outside your ear. Find a little swan neck as you tilt your chin back. And then use your upper body, your hand against your head to bring your head back over your heart. Before you flow down, let's add on a little lunge twist here. Reach up. Exhale, chaturanga, or keep on moving through your cobras. Your choice. Breathing in, up dog or cobra. Breathing out, downward facing dog. Moment to breathe in. Big exhale. Good. So let's step our hands wide and then lift into three-leg dog. Bend your heel. Now opposite leg as you draw your heel closer to the back of your head. Come forward like a push-up. Melt your chest. Come back. Lift, breathe, three-leg dog. Knee to your nose. Exhale, step through, low lunge, back knee down, crescent moon. Take a moment. When you're ready, hands to low back. So bending elbows right behind your shoulders, your chest. You should feel this nice energy flow opening you up front line. We'll navel in. Feel when you energize your core, it activates psoas stretch a little bit more. If it feels okay to take a chest expansion here, try that on. Remember, you can always keep hands at your hips. We'll tuck back toes and lift into a low lunge with chest expansion. So start to immediately draw your knuckles away from your tailbone towards your back heel. Transition is toppling tree, but first we step the feet together. Then we extend and lift our leg and melt heart, chest towards the floor. Keep breathing. We reverse into our warrior three, so release the bind. Arms swoop you up, Virabhadrasana 3. Big movement, challenging pose, challenging transition. Keep breathing into it, don't hold the breath. Exhale, standing splits, relax your head and your neck. We step back into a low lunge. Open up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. So I'm gonna change sides so I can see you, face you. Good. So again, chin over your heart, hands to the heart, close your eyes. And this time you might want to experience a little more opening by bringing the hands behind the nape of your neck, elbows in towards your temples. That might feel good. You can also do a chest expansion here or play with bringing your hands at your low back with elbows back. Each time we come back to redundancy, it's not about being boring, creating patterns. It's about seeing the strength that you're building each time you reunite yourself with something that's familiar. Cleanse the air. Back to warrior two. Breathing in. Exhale, extended side. Take a moment here. So we want to feel the heart turning up towards the ceiling and the beautiful vertical line of energy from your back heel towards your fingertips. Reverse on the inhale. We'll take a moment, bring your back here towards back shoulder. Maybe invite your hand to rest outside your head. There's a little bit of a resistance to get that dynamic stretch. Little swan neck as you tilt your head back, chin towards your shoulder. Use your hands safely against your head to bring your head back over your heart. Reach up, breath in. Exhale to the mat. We add on a lunge twist here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, step back. Your vinyasa, cobra or chaturanga. Inhale up. Back to our downward dog. Let's build the flow. Take a moment. Breathe in. Let breath go. Ha. So a little different. Scorpion dog. Keep your knee bent. Lift your heel. Breath in. Exhale. Low lunge. Step right through. Rise up to your crescent. Breath in. Take a moment here. Let something go. Dive in. Exhale. Ha. Inhale. Rise to crescent. You'll exhale, open up, warrior two. Stay here, enjoy this extra breath in. Exhale, extended side angle. Find your vertical line and then reverse up and back. Deepen the lunge here. Exhale, adding on, low lunge. So we can take our twist or step all the way back to full side plank Vashisthasana. Reach up through your top hip, breathe in. Exhale, cobra or chaturanga to up dog. Breath in. Back to down dog, breath out. So bending your knee, lifting your heel towards your glute. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come through, low lunge. Crescent lunge, re-rise. Take a moment, bend elbows, dip low. Inhale, rise, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. We stay here and bring in a little more breath, fill barrel chested. Exhale, extend. Reverse, slow the movement. Exhale, low lunge, twist. Or step through side plank Vashisthasana. Lift the hip, breathing in. Finish your vinyasa. Let your breath guide you. Back to down dog. We add on, take a breath in here. Let your breath go. So now let's bend the knee. Let's bend right leg, lift the knee. Now open up your hip. Breathe in. Cross your body, knee to elbow. Shh. Inhale, re-extend, bend the knee, lift, open the hip. Exhale, right through to a low lunge. Crescent, rise on up. Exhale, get super low, touch the floor, reach up, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Stay here, take the breath in. Extended side. Up and back, reverse. Exhale, side plank. Maybe Ekapada, you can grab onto your big toe. From here, we'll explore wild thing. Open up, breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Back through, maybe just a plank or take chaturanga or cobra. Downward facing dog. So good, yogis. Touch back and then bend your left knee, lift your heel. Open up the hip this time. Breathe in. Cross your body to your elbow, touch. Back in, bend the knee, lift, open up the hip. Right to our lunge. Crescent, inhale. Get really low, touch the earth lightly with your back knee, tap. There it is, rise up, crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Stay here, get taller with that breath. Exhale, extend. Shoulders on the back, reverse. Exhale, so strong, low lunge, side plank. Your variations that you want to welcome, breathe in the air. Maybe it was Ekapada. Moving into our wild thing. 2 more breaths, yogis. This is your space. Finish your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Breath in. Downward facing dog, child's pose, Anahata Asana, 3 breaths. Anahata Asana, knees are down, hips are off your heels. Stretching arms out in front of you, melting your chest. 2 more breaths, because we're slow, purposeful breaths here. 1 more breath in and out. Variations, we come back to downward facing dog. Relax your head and your neck. Slowly walk hands and feet to touch. Halfway lift, breathing in. Exhale, bow forward. Toes touch, let's find chair pose, Utkatasana. Sit back, reach high. So take a moment here to settle into chair. We want to be able to see the tips of your toes past your knees, so that usually means sitting back more rather than forward. All right, so we want to sit back. Good. Breathing in. Exhale, invite your hands to come to your heart for a moment. Good. Ground down. Focus your gaze. Check in with shoulders and neck. Let's inhale. You can bring your right knee up, cross, figure 4. Sit down and back. Maybe bring your chest closer to your bent leg. Hang out here for a few moments so we can open up the hip while we balance. It's a little bit of yoga multitasking. Breathe in the air all around you. Start to come back to 1 leg mountain into your dancers or standing bow pose. Heel behind you. We felt this in our down dog, this transition of a bent knee moving back. Reach for your foot. Start to kick up and back. So I'd like you to focus less on hinging forward right now. Really lift up, because we're going to be hinging forward soon enough. Reaching for the ceiling. Now keep your hand to foot connection, and now hinge forward. Relax, head and neck. Touch the floor. Standing splits. Relax your head. Now we're going to go into reverse dancers. So cross, back foot behind you. Opposite hand to foot connection. And lift. So let your knees touch. This is the pose. Or kick back a little bit. Lift. Breathe. Release. Come to standing mountain. Lift up a little back bend. Sit back into your chair, airplane torso for a moment. Reset. Arms high. Hands at heart. You shift weight. Bend left knee. Cross ankle thigh. So you should be on the other leg. If you're not, change. And then melt your chest towards your bent leg. Take a moment here. We still want to feel that sensation of sitting down and back rather than leaning forward. Keep breathing. 1 leg mountain, lift, bend the knee. Standing bow pose, shift your heel towards glute. Grab onto your foot, knees touch. And remember, we're focusing on the lift up. So I always like to look at where the ceiling and the wall meet. And the energy of the pose is where your gaze is, so looking up. Slowly now we start to hinge. Falling dancers. And transition as you touch the floor, kick your heel or your toes up. Cross leg behind you, receive your foot. Reverse dancers, rise up. So the thighs touch, knees touch, check in. And then when you're ready, open up. Kick your foot into your hands to get a lot more opening. Big breath, new space. Release, toes to touch, hands to heart. Standing, Samasthiti, close your eyes, find your breath. Take a few moments. Do a little time check. Good. Big breath in, big breath out. Blink your eyes open for a moment. So we can do a little body tapping here at the chest, the thymus gland. So just want to tap around your décolleté, your sternum. We focus a lot on catching our breath here, and sometimes the reason that it's difficult to breathe deep is we're so tight in the chest, full of anxiety and worry, okay? And when we worry, we cannot live in the moment. We're stealing from this time because we're trying to borrow from the future, okay? So trying to think about what's going to happen next is anxiety. So allow yourself to soften into this moment that needs your attention. If you can't accomplish or do the work that needs to be done here in the now, it doesn't matter what's going to happen in the future. It's not truly your path. So be here. Let something go to soften some of that anxiety so you can continue to breathe deep and free, clearing space. Maybe you catch your breath after this class and then some of that work has been done. That's awesome. One more inhale. Big exhale, arms high, inhale, mountain, standing mountain back bend. Exhale, leading with your heart, open up your wings, dive forward, swan dive. Interlace hands behind you, chest expansion as you drop your head. Take a moment here to enjoy this for a few more breaths. And exhale, let's tuck and curl to a little ball. Squeeze your legs with your arms, maybe wrap arms around your shins. And then a little baby camel. So knees down to the mat, hip width distance apart. We'll find that same sensation of either your hands on your hips or hands to low back, elbows bent. Start to push the hips forward and lean back. Slide shoulders down, space in the back of your neck. Close the eyes, breathe. Big exhale here. Head back over your heart, untuck your toes, sit your hips on your heels for a moment. Go ahead and do some audible exhales here. There's something really healing about making noise with your breath. All right, come back to the earth, tabletop, and we'll find downward facing dog to reset. Let's bring your left leg up and back first, and then knee to wrist for pigeon. And step back. So I'd like you to stay up for this at first rather than coming down. So quick check, we want to roll towards the big toe mound of your back foot. So heel is lifted to the center line towards the femur bone. You can bring your front heel in towards your inner thigh a little bit more. And that same sensation of spider tip fingers outside the edges of your mat. Lift open here, breathe. And then exhale, bend the elbows like you're doing a push-up, dip your chest towards the mat. And then tuck chin to chest, round, lift up. Try that again, one more time. And then the option will be to do it without the hands on the floor. So it'll look a little like this, arms high. Exhale, interlace them behind. Chest expansion, breath in. Melt chest towards the floor. Forehead touches. Slowly bring knuckles down towards your glutes. Release, fingertips touch. Chin to chest, rise up. Tuck your back toes, palms down. Option to flip dog here, go for it. Bend the knee, open up, flip your dog. If you're flipping your dog, you can try a couple little pulses. Dip your hips, inhale up, exhale down. One more time, inhale up. Exhale down, up and around, downward facing dog. Change sides, go right into it, lift your leg, knee to wrist. Let's settle in. So check your back foot, right on the big toe mound. Palms outside the edges of your mat, spider tip fingers, elbows bend. Take a moment to lift here, breathe. Exhale, dip your chest. So strong in your biceps and triceps. Chin to chest. rise up. Try that one more time. And then you can move with me into our chest expansion variation or keep this movement going. So this time we bring the arms up. Exhale, interlace behind you. Knuckles down, opening up heart. Easing yourself to the floor, forehead touches. Lift. Lower your fist towards your tailbone. Relax the bind. Palms back to the sides of your mat, spider tip fingers. Lift yourself back up. Tuck back toes, palms down. We're moving into flip your dog up and around. Maybe you find wheel pose here or take those dips. Exhale. Last one. Shh. Up and around, downward facing dog. Relax your head and your neck. Let something go. Ha. One more breath in and out. Come forward to your plank pose and lower all the way down to your belly. So we'll ready ourselves for floor bow. Bend your knees, reach for your feet. Take a moment, a little bit different than where you might be used to going. Tops of your thighs down to the mat, okay? Just lift your chest, keep your thighs down. See what it feels like to use the leverage of anchoring towards your feet, kind of pulling onto your feet to lift your chest. And now let your chest kind of lower and lift your thighs. Kick your feet into your hands. Now take a moment to release. Walk knees in center. Exhale everything out. Big exhale, ha. Lift thighs and chest together. And then we rock forward and back for 3, 2, 1. Release, deflate. I like prostration, palm on palm, forehead to the back of your hands. Find whatever feels good for you to get all the stagnant air out of your body. Completely deflate your body. Push every last ounce of air out of your body. Ha. 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 Palms beside you. Tuck toes. Reverse plank or tabletop. Last time here, downward facing dog. Relax your head and your neck. Come back to that cyclical breath, breathing in through front line, the back of your head, back of your neck, back of your heart, back to the front of your body. From our downward facing dog, we'll find dolphin. So just start to lower your forearms. It's almost like turbo dog. Bend the knees, lower your forearms, but then go ahead and plant the forearms down. Re-straighten the legs. Walk your toes towards you, bringing your hips over your shoulders. Keep working to pull your front line forward. Head doesn't touch the floor. Breathe. Now push your chest towards your thighs. Push into the L shape of your palms, the blade of your forearms. 3, 2, 1. Anahata Asana. Knees down. Stretch the arms out in front of you. Melt. Slowly lift back up. So we'll go into full camel, but we'll be doing some different movements in our camel pose. So from here, hands at your hips, knees are bent, toes can be tucked or untucked. Kind of check in and see how that feels for your body. We'll bring right arm out in front of you, shoulder back, extend and lift. Just want you to feel what it's like to lift your arm and change sides. Extend like you're reaching out to shake someone's hand, shoulder cocks back, lift up, and then back. All right, so from here, we'll flow a little bit. So we'll bring the right arm up, left hand reaches towards your back heel, and then we change. Switch sides. So remember how we kind of did those shoulder openers where we were alternating? Same thing here. Intelligent sequencing for the body. Breathe. This new space that you're opening up into. All right, clearing negative pathways. Shh. Shh. Last few. Keep going. Do as many of these as you can. And then we surrender. Surrender to embryo pose. We'll counter that movement. We'll go from embryo to rabbit. If you know rabbit, join me in that. For now, embryo pose. Mount your chest down towards your thighs, forehead rest, arms behind you, palms face up. If you want to try on rabbit, go ahead and wrap your hands around your heels. Lift your hips away from your heels as you roll to the top of your head. Now pull your hands against your feet. And rabbit pose, surrender back to embryo. Bring the arms forward, palms down, tuck chin to chest, roll back up. Let's release. Bridge pose. If you'd like to make it more restorative, to start to calm the nervous system down. Bedtime's coming up for you soon, and we did a lot of opening. It can be very energizing. It might feel good to just restore your bridge. You could even just come into Supta Baddha Konasana here. Otherwise, graze the back of your heels with your fingertips, feet hip width apart. Palms down, gaze up to the ceiling, listen to my voice. Lift your thighs. So slightly tuck the tailbone, chest towards your chin. You can walk your shoulders underneath your chest. This is, of course, always when your dog wants to come over and lick your face. I know that some of you have posted about doing yoga at home with the dogs interrupting. It's glad to know I'm not the only one. Let's breathe. Big open mouth exhale, stick out the tongue. Ha. 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 Slowly surrender. You can either find Supta Baddha, soles of feet together, knees out, or fallen bridge, knees knock in, toe heel, feet out. Drop in and continue to feel that free flow, cyclical breath, front line, back line of body. Letting out some exhales as you've caught your breath. Let's release low back here. Keep your feet, or if you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, bring your feet out to the edges of your mat. And keep your feet wide. Let your knees fall to the left or to the right. You can go post the arms here. And then bring your knees up center. Feet are still as wide as your mat. Let your knees fall to the other side. And then bring yourself back to center. Hug. Squeeze everything in. From here, if you'd like to move into a supine twist, go lay down. If you'd like to move into a supine twist, you can start to move into alternating your both legs together. Maybe a moment in legs up the wall pose, relaxing your head to the earth as your feet touch the ceiling. Close your eyes and just be still for a few more breaths before we come into Shavasana. If you have a healthy neck and spine and plow poses in your practice, arms are beside you, palms are down, using your core to just lift your legs, your hips up over your torso, toes touch the floor behind your head. Such a great counter pose to all the work we've done, but so is a good twist and a legs up the wall pose. Happy baby is also a great place to be. If you are familiar with shoulder stand, start to walk your shoulders in, hands support low back, lifting your legs, chest towards your chin. Use the strength of your upper body, your triceps, to support you here. Deaf man's pose, knees fall outside your ears. And starting to find Shavasana as you're ready, maybe a final hug, final squeeze, release, Shavasana. And then feel the sensation of prana, your breath. Feel the sensation of floating in the air, drifting like clouds in the sky. All that new space that you've cleared, move into it. Stay still and I will guide you out when it is time. And friends, if you're ready to take your practice off your mat and into your evening, and I often say this in my classes, you're ready to take your practice off your mat and into your world, because this is truly where your practice begins. I've come to learn that to be so true recently, more than ever. May you continue to find these moments of fresh air that you can breathe into. And a reminder that you are yoga and yoga is you, on your mat and off the mat. You are feeling the energy to come to a comfortable seat. We'll close our practice together. You can certainly be where you need to be. Go on into your variations of Shavasana. If you are in a seat, join me by bringing hands to heart and then one hand on top of the other right over your chest, and just really feeling and connecting to this power of prana. How lucky we are that we just intuitively breathe in our lungs and our heart beats. Acknowledging the work that our body does. Acknowledging the work that you do. And remembering to give yourself full breath so that you can constantly stay vital. Thumbs may come to the third eye center, acknowledging the light, the love, the teacher in ourselves and each other. We bow forward. Namaste. All right, thank you, friends. I hope to see you tomorrow, Friday morning at 9 a.m. on the Denver Wellness Collective Instagram. We'll go live for our Infinity Flow, Forever Young Flow. We'll be doing a lot of fun things in the class. So thank you so much. See you soon. Namaste.